The idea of karma, as I understand it, is that you are affected down the line by what you do now, and you do something selfish, and then you're going to reap negative benefits from that.
Now let's think about this. Oh, you have so many screwy things you talk about. But let's think about it in light of what we've been talking about here. Do you accept? Some of you do and some of you don't. But give yourself a gut check on this one. Do you accept that when you feel, because we think our sales job was very appealing, because when we speak that which you know at deep levels, we think it resonates with you. So do you think that negative emotion means you found a thought that is off center of who you are? Do you get that? Do you accept that? Have you tested enough to know that you are a lover, and when you are focused upon someone and feeling love, you get tuned in, and you are a lover, and when you're mad at someone, you're out of whack? Do you show yourself that? In other words, have you had enough experience with yourself and with others to know that when you are in alignment, you are thriving, and when you're not, you're not? So do you accept that negative emotion means you've gone somewhere the source within you does not go? So if your inner being will not even join you in a negative thought, what are the odds that it would send you back to get it right? In other words, who you are becoming is this pure positive energy being, and it's from that vantage point that you make the next decision to come forth. Yes, there is karma in the sense that you are an eternal being and you are expanding, but we so want you to get it that the contrast causes you to become more, and that which you have become is that being that will reemerge again. You see, when you have what you call it death, there is no death, so we be disrespectful, we call it croaking. When you have your croaking experience, you leave behind all doubt and fear. You leave behind those negative attachments that you've picked up along your physical trail. And you close the gap and you become pure positive energy, you see. So it is our absolute promise to you that not one of you is sent back here to compensate for something that you got wrong before. This is a distortion of man's disconnected mind. And he could only speak that when not in alignment with that which he truly is.
So we don't carry the negative karma, if you want to call it that, from...
You don't carry it. Your inner being won't even join you with it now. How could you possibly carry it? The only thing that you could carry is that eternal part of you that you have become. In other words, we talked about this cycle. You are source energy. You project yourself here. You reemerge into non-physical. You get this death and life cycle. In other words, you see new ones coming. Don't you see the freshness and the pureness of those little ones? Don't you see their confidence and their eagerness and their zest for life? Aren't they fresky when they get here? And aren't they usually not when they leave? If it was the way you say, nobody would come forth frisky. They'd just drag in. Here I am again. Please don't make me play with that. Please. Use your own experience. Feel the essence of those energies coming in. Look at the light in their eyes and the eagerness. They're not coming back to compensate for things that have gone wrong. They're coming to create more wonderful stuff.
Would it work on the opposite? Can you carry vibrational escrow from life experience to life experience?
You can and do. In other words, your understanding of who you are didn't begin with your birth into this body. You came confident and knowing and in love with life and in love with you and feeling worthy. In other words, it took a lot of doing to train that out of you. And you felt bad every step along the way. When your grandmother adored you, you knew it was right. And when your teacher was mad at you, you knew it was wrong. You knew that it was wrong for you to be condemned for any reason. You knew that. You could feel the wrongness of that. It's like having a pillow pressed to your face. When people do it enough, in time, you're broken like the horse is broken. That horse does not want to give you a ride. It will. But it's not what it's born saying it wants to do. Can't wait till I grow up and they put those saddles on me. And those pointy shoes. What else?
Thank you. I have too many.
Well, there's something else there we want. Move down to it.
If all of us are the creators or masters of our own reality, what is the appropriate attitude towards sympathy and charity?
When you sympathize with someone's plight, you, in time, achieve vibrational alignment with it, which draws you from the power with which you could help them. It's a difference between, when, for example, this stream that's upstream and downstream. Downstream is expectation of their recovery. Upstream is concern about their sickness. Downstream is expectation of well-being. Upstream is awareness of not well-being. Often when someone says, I'm going to heal myself, they turn upstream because they're focused upon the illness that they're wanting to overcome. So it's an upstream vibration. While reaching for wellness, feel the relief in it. So words are not very important, but usually when someone is offering sympathy or compassion, they're looking at something unwanted. And in doing so, they deprive themselves of the resources. Jesus is a healer that is often spoke of. There have been many. But when you sat before him dripping your illness, he did not allow himself to see your illness. Instead, he knew your wellness. And he knew it so powerfully because he was seeing through the eyes of Source that your illness, for the time of his gaze, could not abide in the vibration. In other words, he just blitzed the vibration with so much knowledge of well-being that it influenced you to the belief of well-being. He told more than one, it's your belief that has made you whole. And your belief was influenced by his belief. Now, that would be the best definition of compassion. Attention to what is really wanted. But you see, the source within you, all of you have. When you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, and the source within you turns its undivided attention toward what you do want. So we would say follow suit with the source energy. Give undivided attention to what is wanted. When you give your attention to what is not wanted, you cannot help but join that vibration. And when you join that vibration, you cannot help but pull yourself apart from the powerful resources of well-being. And then you have nothing to give. People sometimes say, Abraham, you teach selfishness. We say, indeed we do. Because if you're not selfish enough to keep yourself tuned in, tapped in, turned on, you have nothing to give anyone. So you just have to ask yourself, how compassionate do you want to be? There are people so compassionate that they feel terrible all the time and they are of no value to anyone. And there are people so selfish that they feel good all the time and they are of value to anyone that they give their attention to. So we would say compassion or happy, pick happy every time. We would say appreciation or gratitude. Feel the difference. Gratitude, almost always looking at what you're grateful that you have overcome. Splitting hairs, but can't you feel the difference? I'm grateful that I don't have that anymore. Now you've got it again. Appreciation is attention to that which is becoming. Think of the word in and of itself. Appreciation, expansion, becoming. Really good. Good time for a segment of refreshment. We are complete.